You know, in the world of law, the courtroom isn't the only place battles are won anymore. Nope. Today, the fight for a new client, it often kicks off with just a single click. So today, we're going to dive into the really high-stakes world of law firm SEO and break down how attorneys are all competing for your attention in this digital age.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. The last time you needed a lawyer, or maybe a friend did, where did you look first? I'm guessing it wasn't the Yellow Pages, right? Or some billboard on the highway. For pretty much all of us, that first move is pulling out our phone or hopping on a computer.
And yeah, that's the reality. That one fact has totally transformed the entire legal industry. I mean, this simple act of searching has kicked off a brand new competitive landscape where law firms have to fight just to be seen. If they don't show up on that first page of results, they are at a massive disadvantage.
Which brings us to what I like to call the digital gavel. It's like the new authority in town. And it's not a judge in a robe, but a search algorithm. And that algorithm is what makes the first ruling on which law firm a potential client is even going to see.
Because online search has absolutely become the new battleground for law firms. I mean, every single day, thousands and thousands of potential clients are online looking for legal help. So a law firm's success, it's not just about how good they are in the courtroom anymore. It's about how visible they are on a search results page. Honestly, just showing up is half the battle.
Okay, so now we're going to get into why this is a uniquely fierce field. But here's the thing. This digital battlefield is brutally competitive for lawyers. We're not talking about searching for the best local coffee shop here. The stakes are way, way higher.
So why is it so competitive? Well, it's basically a war on multiple fronts. You've got stiff local competition, right? But it's not just that. They're also up against these giant national law firms with massive marketing budgets. And then you have lead generation websites, think sites like Avo that just dominate search results. On top of all that, the value of keywords is just through the roof. A term like DUI lawyer is so valuable because one case could be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Firms will pay insane amounts of money for one single click, which makes the fight for that top spot, well, absolutely fierce.
And this is really what makes marketing a law firm so different from, say, any other local business. When you search for pizza near me, your intent is pretty simple, right? You're hungry. But searching for a lawyer? Whoa, that's way more complex. You aren't just looking for any lawyer. You need someone who handles a super specific issue, like a child custody case, and they have to be in your exact area. The targeting has to be absolutely razor sharp.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why of this whole thing. Let's get into the how. It's time to actually define what we're talking about with law firm SEO.
So here it is. At its core, law firm SEO is a strategic process. It is not about just getting any old traffic to a website. It's about attracting the right kind of traffic. You know, connecting with actual people who have a very specific, very real legal problem and are actively looking for the solution that a particular firm provides, like right now.
Okay, so how do law firms actually pull this off? Well, we can break down their strategy into what we'll call the SEO playbook. It's a pretty clear three-part plan.
Yeah, a winning strategy really boils down to three core parts. A great way to think about it is like building a legal case. You absolutely need a solid foundation, you need compelling arguments, and you need the authority to be believed. In the world of SEO, that translates perfectly to a solid technical foundation, a powerful content engine, and, you guessed it, building online authority.
All right, part one, the foundation. This is all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the technical work that makes everything else even possible. We're talking questions like, is the website fast? Because slow sites get punished by Google. Is it mobile-friendly? Super important since most searches are on phones now. And can Google's little search bots easily crawl and understand what the site is all about? And maybe most importantly, is the firm's name, address, and phone number, what's called NAP, is it consistent everywhere online? That consistency is absolutely key for building local trust with search engines. Okay, on to part two, the content engine. This is where the firm starts talking directly to potential clients. First, they do keyword research to figure out the exact phrases people are typing into Google. Then, they create genuinely helpful content around those phrases. We're talking blog posts that answer common legal questions, detailed guides, FAQs for different practice areas, anything that actually helps people and, at the same time, shows off the firm's expertise. But here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you attract the right clients? I mean, it's one thing to create a bunch of content, but how do you make sure it gets in front of someone who desperately needs a personal injury lawyer and not just, a college student writing a research paper?
The answer is all about targeting specific search intent. These phrases you see here, they aren't just words.
They represent real people with real, urgent, and often pretty stressful problems. Someone searching for workers' compensation attorney in Atlanta isn't just browsing, right? They have a clear, immediate need. So by creating content that's perfectly optimized for these kinds of specific, long-tail keywords, a firm can connect directly with their ideal clients at the exact moment they need help the most.
And that brings us to the final piece of the playbook, Part 3, Building Authority. So, in the digital world, authority is basically all about backlinks. And a backlink is just a link from another website pointing to the law firm's site. When a reputable site, like a local news station, a legal association, or a directory like Avvo, links to a firm, it's like a massive vote of confidence. It's basically telling Google, hey, this firm is legit, they're a credible, trustworthy source. It's really the online version of a powerful word-of-mouth referral.
Okay, so we've got the foundation, the content, the authority, but let's get to the crucial point. From clicks to cases. How does all this digital work actually translate into real-world results for a law practice?
Well, it creates this really powerful domino effect. You see, a strong foundation and great content, that leads to increased visibility on Google. That visibility drives more traffic to the website. And because the content is so targeted, a good chunk of that traffic turns into qualified leads. We're talking actual people who need legal help. And what do those leads turn into? Exactly what every law firm needs to grow: more case consultations.
And the impact can be absolutely massive. Just look at this number. We're talking about a potential for over 75% more case consultations. It's not unusual for a really well-done SEO campaign to boost client inquiries by that much, or even more. And for any business, especially a law firm, that kind of growth is a total game changer.
And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Law firm SEO is more than just a way to get your website ranked. It's a strategy for generating more cases, expanding your client base, and driving your firm's success. See, it's not just some marketing task you check off a list. It's a core business strategy for any modern law firm that really wants to thrive, not just get by.
So that leaves us with one final, pretty deep thought to chew on. When an algorithm is the one deciding who you see first, what does it even mean to be the best anymore? It's a really fascinating intersection of technology, marketing, and what we think of as professional reputation. Something to think about.